welcome to MGP543. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, the Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Hello.
I have had some great difficulty memorising this week's episode number, and I think it is because it's counting backwards, as Sheepdog has just informed me prior to recording. I don't like the fact... Well, I feel like in the past the numbers have always gone up. We've never had them going down like that before, have we? We must have done a 3-2-1 at some point. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I... Did we? Maybe I missed those ones.
Maybe.
Because I've just really struggled with this one. I don't like it. We're not doing a 654. We're gonna wrap things up. The MGP finale is going to be episode 653. Work out when it is. That's the last one. I ain't doing that again.
Decades away for us. Surely we're not getting there anytime soon.
No, we do record when you're not here.
Yeah, but you're not here often.
We're always here.
You're gallivanting around the world, aren't you, at the moment?
I'm sat at my desk.
Well, not right this second. I mean, between podcasts.
I've been sat at my desk. Actually, I've not been sat at my desk for much of this week because my back has still been very sore. I've been stood at my desk for most of this week. But we've barely left the house. Other than going to the gym, we've barely left the house, and we're barely leaving the house for the next couple of weeks as well. We're basically having 3 consecutive weeks just in the house. Can you imagine it?
It's basically my life. I went to Tesco's earlier and did my back in. Literally just walked down the road, went to Tesco's, came back, and my back was wrecked. I'm so annoyed. I was like, how did this happen?
Were you picking up cheese? Because I've done myself picking up cheese in there before. The cheese is in a difficult spot.
Do you know what? I think I picked up a bloody, what are they called? They're basically just a wrap. It was like a veggie wrap thing. It fell off the shelf and I picked it up. And it didn't occur to me just now. That's probably when I did it. I was like, how's my back hurting? But I must have just pulled it bending down, which is insane. But
well, I've been basically crippled for 3 weeks because I leaned a little bit too far to put my sock on after swimming. So, we are approaching those ages where, how did you hurt yourself? There is no how, doctor. I'm old. That is how I hurt myself. I'm not going to tell you that I managed to throw my back out for 3 weeks putting on a sock. That's, I'll just say, I don't really know. It just hurts. You can't tell him about your veggie wrap.
All the things I'd done that were much more athletic or heavy lifting in the past, month that didn't cause this to happen, and then go, walk to the shops. I've got young kids I have to carry around a lot still, even though they're 6 and older. But, none of that seems to do me in.
Well, that's the thing. I injured myself at the gym, the place I go specifically to pick heavy things up and put them down again. Haven't hurt myself doing any of that. Putting on a sock? Well, we've got you here.
I hate this. Why did no one warn us that getting old is like this?
I think the old people do warn the young people, but the young people don't listen to the old people
about anything
that they say. I know.
Just haggard and old.
I imagine there's people slightly older than us now trying to warn us about what's coming after this phase. And we ain't listening. Yeah, don't care what they've got to say. They know nothing. And there's no point us preaching this to the young people because they're not going to listen either. But I would strongly recommend you spend your 20s and 30s doing some kind of yoga or Pilates or some kind of stretching, because there'll come a time when you know how at the moment your muscles can extend, contract, bend. They ain't going to be able to do that forever, kids. Forget Mature Gamer Podcast. That's the reason the Mature Gamer Podcast ends at 6:53, because it's just going to be the Old Person Podcast. We're going to officially rename it. Yeah, the Retired Gamer Podcast.
I mean, I'll go for that. Let's rename to that next year. Get me retired within the next year. On wealth grounds, not on health grounds.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just need to have a massive stroke and you'll be fine.
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Easy peasy.
Let's avoid that one, thank you.
But yeah, other than injuries and whatnot, are we all? Pab hasn't listed any of his injuries, which I'm just arrogantly sat there not hurting anywhere, which is a little bit upsetting.
It's almost like he does a lot of walking around and lifting on his job. And he's used to being athletic.
As if regular exercise prevents this huge physical decline that we're describing from happening. As if that could be the case.
Show me the science. You can't.
Exactly. Pab's just taken loads of performance-enhancing drugs, presumably. There you go. He's not denying it. No. Yeah, he didn't deny it.
The nose were after you said he wasn't denying it. He's like, no, I'm not denying it. I've been injecting my knees with steroids since the age of 15.
Yeah, careful. He's coming at you with the roid rage now. He said no 3 times. He's hulking up. Yeah, come on, Pabby. There's no need for that. We know what you're up to.
That's another thing that science lies to you about. I've been snorting steroids for the past month, and my back's only got more painful, if anything.
Are you
You're
doing
supposed
any
to snort steroids? I think you're supposed to inject them into yourself.
The doctor told me to snort them, so.
But probably not for muscle building.
I mean, well, why would he prescribe them? I mean,
I'm fascinated that your doctor has prescribed you something to snort.
Well, it's more of a spray, but it's like it smells funny.
Did he tell you to which denomination of currency do you have to roll up to take your supposed prescription?
No, it comes in like a little thing that shoots it up there.
A nasal spray.
Yeah, but it's a steroid one. It's steroids.
Why? I've never heard of back being treated with a nasal spray before.
I didn't go there about my back.
Was this a real doctor?
I'm saying I went to him about something else, and he gave me that, and the steroids have not helped my overall physique. Is what I'm saying.
Perhaps the rest of you's become so hulking and muscle bound that your back can no longer support you. Have you considered that?
I hadn't considered
that. Have you started bursting out
good.
of your sleeves and your trousers have now only come up to midway through your shin
no
without
more than
explanation?
Usual. That's usually the case. I'm always bursting out of my clothes. You've seen me before.
That's why I was specific about arms.
They're as strong as they've always been.
Oh, no. That's a disaster.
But yeah, my shoulders, my back and my knees, they have had no benefit from snorting these steroids. It's all lies.
Interesting. I think we should. I want to talk to the doctor about some snorting steroids. See if that's going to fix me. I like this. Sort of make a note of that. Writing that down. Want to be like Pab with all of his juice. Yeah, because you're a high performance athlete. We just discussed that.
You say that, but no.
Actually, no.
See,
don't burst the bubble.
I think I've been playing too much Fortnite.
Oh,
so you're a 9-year-old.
I'm getting like RSI. So
I mean, it is quite a common thing for people who play a lot of Fortnite to have really sore wrists. I've heard. Is that where it's hurting?
It's like a muscle. Like I don't even know where it is. In like the.
It's your wrist, isn't it?
No, it's in my hand. But it's just...
Don't know where it is. It's in my hand, but like the bottom of my hand.
It's like,
it's like where my hand meets my arm.
That's where it is.
Underneath your thumb, between the arm and. Oh, Pabby, that is, yeah.
I mean, maybe stop playing so much Fortnite then. Have you considered that?
I haven't played as much recently. To be fair, I haven't been. So, just need to play Zero. Isn't going to happen.
Get yourself a steering wheel to clamp to your desk or something. Play a driving game.
Useful, yeah.
Do something that puts no strain at all on your delicate little thumbs. Would be my recommendation.
Hunched forward over the wheel.
Maybe a bit of Football Manager
with a steering wheel.
You could play Football Manager with a steering wheel. I play Football Manager with one hand. I'm sure I could map the controls to a steering wheel really quite easily.
I've seen Bloodborne be played with a steering wheel before, or
there you go. See. You're not thinking outside the box, Pabby. This is why you've got a repetitive strain injury. You're only ever using the same control method over and over again. You need to think laterally.
Football Manager with a dance mat would be pretty good. Imagine trying to dance out your tactics.
I might purchase a dance mat to do exactly that. That'd be a great TikTok. Me dancing a tactic into Football Manager.
And exercise.
When I'm rolling in TikTok money, just know that that's your fault that happened, Sheepdog.
Well, you can help me retire with the proceeds.
You've done it again, just like when you named Non-League to Legend. You need to stop just doing throwaway ideas and then watching me make money with them.
I enjoy watching you make money with him, knowing that I can make it all go away at the drop of a hat by stop having ideas.
On the BBC Bite Size, there is something called dance mat typing. I'm going to be doing some research into dance mats. This might be what I'm talking about. That looks like it's a whole thing. Dance mat typing is an actual thing. I think they're actually describing a keyboard, though, because it says, remember, use both hands, sit up straight, don't skip ahead. Well, that sounds like typing. What you've said dance mat, but you mean keyboard. I'm looking at the photographs. The BBC have lied for the first time ever, and I am furious about it.
Maybe they're showing you how to use a keyboard to program the dance mat.
I've seen things
I've moved
like
away now.
like Guitar Hero guitars. people playing games with the guitar.
Do I still have one of them? I know I've had several over the years, but I don't know if any of them made it to this house. They might be with my boiled egg decapitator back at our old house.
It's gone up, Kev. Like the value of all that stuff has gone through the roof.
Not guitar.
Well, I've still got a key to that house in my glove box of my car, so I'll just go back and rummage through the cutlery drawer to find my egg decapitator, and then head it. I think I left the guitar in the dining room, so I'll go and just wander in, help myself. I guess I can't imagine they've changed the locks. Why would they change the locks?
The quality of those doors, just kick them in. It won't take much of a kick.
Exactly. They've still got this house is protected by a ring sticker stuck to their garage door. We noticed that when we drove past over the Christmas period. Because you have to go back and have a little look. So they haven't painted the garage.
Why were you driving past? That's a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, because we had the kids. Why were the kids in the car? I think we'd been out for Christmas dinner and we were going to my dad's to open Christmas presents.
We weren't home
and the
yet.
Kids were like, "Oh, let's go and have a look at the old house." So we went and had a look at the old house, and it looks exactly the same as it always used to. So the idea of playing Beatles Rock Band on the roof is still doable, but I need to buy all the gear. So this stuff has not increased in value. I'm looking on Amazon now. This is the same price it always was. You're a liar.
I was told it had. I didn't verify that information. I was just told they're expensive now, and it's a nightmare, and blah blah blah. Because you can
no. There's a
do
new
Clone
guitar
Hero with them or whatever.
Releasing a new
There's
one.
what? Are they? What, a proper Guitar Hero with a guitar?
No, not a game. A guitar that works with Rock Band and what have you. Because
I really miss that era of gaming when we had SingStar with proper microphones regularly releasing songs and Rock Band with all the peripherals regularly releasing songs. That seemed like it only lasted like a 2 or 3 year window and then it just stopped. Was I the only person who was spending £30 a week on all the new songs when they came out?
Did you know?
Did we cover this on the podcast recently, or did I talk with a group of people about it? I feel like we probably
I haven't spoken about this for 5 years.
Okay, so apparently the companies that used to sell them, like Game and all of that, they just ended up with
isn't it?
They had so many plastic guitars and whatnot just in the stores all the time. They're not willing to do it again. Like people were trying to get it going again, and they were like, we don't want to buy that stock. We ended up with so much of it last time that we just had to kind of destroy. We don't want all that plastic in the shop again, and they've been really reticent to do it, which I thought was a really bizarre reason.
But why did it stop in the first place? It just
like Amazon, licensing and
the SingStar microphones. The last time we tried to play SingStar, we had to sing into our phones. It was rubbish. It's just not the same. I don't feel like Ariana Grande if I'm singing into a phone.
Yeah, it would ruin the illusion a bit, wouldn't it?
Rock Band DLC had been coming out weekly until the end of last month.
Has it, by golly?
Yeah, 2 songs a week.
Right. I'm getting... What
Clone
console do I need to be able to play that?
Do not buy plastic guitars.
Yeah, I've cleaned my office out today. I've got room for a drum kit.
Ooh.
Oh, drum kit. Oof.
Yeah, I love a drum kit.
That's a different... Yeah.
Buy a mini one.
This whole site you
hold
join
on.
up to.
Shut up, everybody. Anna, did you just say I could buy a real drum kit?
I said a mini one.
Okay, everyone else can carry on talking. I got very excited for a second there. I was buying a drum kit there and then.
No, you were. I'd leave you.
Couldn't you get a electric guitar to play song? What's it called? Songsmith? That one that you plug in a normal guitar and it just treats.
I want to drum.
There's got to be a place where you can play on drums somewhere.
You can get an air drum set on Amazon, which looks like it's just £200 for some sticks.
It's sticks, and then it's
that's genius.
If you know where they are.
I assume you'd make the noises with your mouth, and you had just £200. There's another one that's just sticks to the stool. I want an air drum.
Well, they
kit.
feel like
this
a VR headset or something like that.
I don't know. I guess
so.
It's
basically like where it is in the 3D world and where your sticks are, and it will make all the noises of a different setup, I guess.
The house across the road got a drum kit, and it's a nightmare listening to them drum all the time. It probably does my head in sat here just hearing their beat because it's always slightly out of tune and wrong. I really wish
that's what I want to do. I'd love to be slightly out of beat and slow and wrong. That'd be amazing.
I keep trying to just think they'll get better eventually. They'll be banging out some excellent tunes in like a month or two, but at the moment it's just slightly off, and I'm like, come on, you could do it. Get there, come on. I should just start practicing guitar so I can rock up outside his house and just join in the song one day. That'd be so funny.
I'm putting this out there for the gaming industry. I'm ready for rhythm action games to be properly back. I don't want them to involve VR. I want proper rhythm action games. I want peripherals all over my house. Make it happen. I promise I'll give you loads of money. That is my commitment to the gaming industry. They will under the new system that I've just proposed. Yes. Saxophone Hero will be out for Christmas this year. And I'm going to just Google it.
It was DJ Hero, wasn't there? My brother loved that
was
one.
trash. I never bothered with that one. I think because that was at the height of my buying every game that was ever released phase, I think I bought it and never took it out the box because I have no interest in playing DJ. You can pick up DJ Hero, including the turntable, for PlayStation 5 for £46 on Amazon, apparently. Although the box has Wii written on it in big letters. So I think someone's ripping me off here.
I don't think it's on the 5.
Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon still, the DJ Hero stuff.
It was on the no, it was Guitar Hero that was on the DS, wasn't it? And you'd have that weird.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that. I had one of them as well. Yeah, I loved all those games though. They were great. I haven't played a good rhythm action game for a long, long time. I need them back in my life.
You've been missing out on like Friday Night Funkin' and all of that.
On Friday night, what now?
It's not really. It's like my son's obsessed with it. It's like
Has it got peripherals?
Well, it might do. I don't know. I've only ever seen it where you're pressing keyboard buttons, but I imagine there are proper attachments for it because it started off as like a game that somebody made in like whatever, Scratch type thing, and then it became a big deal, and everyone at his school was obsessed with it, and there's like a million songs in it. They're all just like chip tune songs, But F and F, he loves it.
Isn't that Florence and Fred, the Tesco own brand clothing line?
Friday Night Funkin'. Yeah, I mean, it was quite frustrating because he was telling me how much he loved it and he likes games like that and they're his favourite games, and I was like, oh, you should check out Guitar Hero, you should check out, and I'm trying to show him all the instrument based ones. He's like, no, I just want to press up, down, left and right in time with the music, and I'm like, well, that's basically the same
thing. Well, then he needs to play Bit Trip Runner. That was one of my favourites back in the rhythm action days. I loved that. I might just sit and play that. I think that's what it was called. You'll know.
There is a new version of that where you have a Mario Maker style level creator.
Oh God, what's that called? I'm buying that right now.
It's called, I don't know. You're gonna have to make me look for this now. Okay, it's called.
Absolutely, I'm making you look.
Okay, I'm looking. Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm looking for. I've got 7 Bit Trip games in my Steam library. I'm looking now, so clearly I've hammered this genre. I think it's at one point or another.
Rerunner.
It's 89p that Bit Trip Runner.
Bit Trip Rerunner.
Bit Trip Runner was great. Bit Trip Rerunner.
I think it's a remake of the original,
£16.75,
and it has Runner Maker included.
Right, that's going to be a. Is it Steam Deck verified? Of course it is! Oh, what a time to be alive! Oh, I could buy the Bit Trip Runner Mega Bundle. It includes all the other games I already own as well. Maybe I'll do that. It's only 75p more than buying this game on its own.
I expect you to make the old full-length MGP tune in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, I am getting this bundle set because it comes with a soundtrack that I can play to Anna in the car.
No, let's not do that.
Oh, it also includes Bit Trip Runner 3, which came out in 2018, and I completely passed me by.
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm getting the bundle. Sorted. There we go.
Wow.
Video game shopping live on the podcast. That's what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Purchase for myself. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, that does transition us nicely into computer video games, of which I have played none this week. Yeah. And I will now allow you lot to talk amongst yourselves. I've played some Football Manager, not even a lot of that, because I've not really been able to sit at my desk. So I've literally just made the 5 Football Manager videos I needed to make to release this week and then streamed. But outside of that,
Kevin goes for naps.
I had one nap. I had 3 naps in the whole of last year. I had one accidental nap this week. I got back from swimming and was a little bit cold, so I put the duvet over me, and then it was 2 hours later, and that can't be my fault.
You're probably poorly, sounds like.
There you go, see? Poorly.
Yeah, but when he sends me videos saying he fell asleep, it's actually
I had fallen asleep.
You are funny.
Old man Kev fell asleep.
But yeah, there's no other games.
I was going to say I've played games, but they're not necessarily games that I haven't already talked about, so it's hard. Pab, I'm like 6 chapter things away from the end of Final Fantasy 16. I almost messaged you in the week.
6 chapters away. Have you
because
spoiled yourself?
Because he knows.
No, because it came up saying
like
chapter name, whatever it was, and I googled no spoiler Final Fantasy 16 chapter names. And then, like, covered the names of all the chapters and read down. I think there was 68, I want to say. And then I went and looked for I sort of went down the ones I knew I'd done until I got to the one I'd just done, and it was 62. So I think I'm 6. I think that's right. Pap didn't do any of the. Well, no, he didn't do many of the side quests. He said he ignored all of the.
I did some, not many.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times in this game where I'm like, the world must have been a very different place when you played it, like the way you were playing it, because every now and again I do one of these random quests, and it's like, oh, I've just changed the entire landscape of the people. Like I've just taught them science, or I don't know, freed this town, or done something else. And I was laughing to myself, thinking, like, in your game, you skipped a lot of that probably. And it's just like
for me, ultimately, it had no effect on the main story, and so it was like. I'll just assume it happened. It was all sorted out, and somebody else dealt with it. I've got people to delegate in that team.
Yeah,
so.
it's kind of breaking the immersion for me a little bit that someone will say to you, "Hey, Clive, can you go and help me grow this flower, please?" And so I go and spend like a day trekking across the world to kill this thing that will help him make a flower better. And then I come back, and then it shows me like sometime later, and all the flowers have grown, and I think, has Clive really just waited around for this guy's garden to grow? Like, the world is falling apart outside, and he's just sat around. It seemed odd to me they haven't thought of a way to either not have stories like that, where a garden grew, or made it fit in with the time a bit more. Like, maybe put that mission a bit earlier, and then have me come back later on to get the reward from it. I don't know. But, yeah, that's been a little bit weird. I kept just laughing to myself at that. The amount of times it would say sometime later, and I think, well, one of the characters had been like taken at one point. I'm trying to, been vague there for spoilery reasons, but they were worrying about them. And then that was when I waited and let the garden grow and went and visited a place and did, helped some blacksmiths change their science rules and whatever. And yeah, they weren't very worried about her being taken. So, I mean, saying her was probably wrong. Yeah. Go back and edit that, Pap.
I'm not.
It's all good. It's all good. Now we're all right. But yeah, I'm near the end now. Last week I said, I'll complete it before the next podcast. Obviously didn't, but it's because I just really enjoyed doing the missions. I really do enjoy all the side missions. It's even if it is a trivial thing of going and getting a plant and helping out with stuff, it's just fun going and doing the boss. And I think I also did look up how many hunt. What they're called, the ones you go and you hunt for
yes
nectar. I think this. I thought I must have nearly finished that because I've got like 20 on the board, and there's only one I can't do at the moment because I'm not strong enough for it. But apparently there's like 38 of them or something stupid. I was like, bloody hell! Okay, I've got another 18 of them to kill. I mean, they won't all be S type ones, but it's. I
mean, you've got a week, Sheepdog.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get it done in a week for sure. I don't think there's going to be that much.
You won't if you're doing every other bloody hunt that you need to do and every side quest this side of the.
Yeah, you idiot.
You really won't.
I don't know. I feel like cause I'm at the point now where there was nothing to do.
Have you met the knight yet? I can't remember his name. One of the last icons that you meet.
Oh, Odin.
Odin, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just after that, basically.
you've had a fight with Odin.
They were shagging on a beach pub.
Okay, so yeah, well.
Spoiler alert, but no. That was where I left it after they'd finished. I just
it's funny that because that happens. That happens, and then you there's still question marks as to what's going on there.
Yeah, to be fair,
there's still a
I'm saying they did that on a beach.
That, and you're like
they
going,
just kind of
wait.
sat around naked on the beach, and I was like, "Are you two getting on, or what? Are you doing it?" I mean, the dog looked away at one point, and I thought, "Oh, here we go." The dog's like giving him a bit of privacy. He stuck his head down, and they just kind of patted each other on the shoulder, and I thought, "Oh, maybe that's how they do it there."
It's weird because that scene happens, and you go, "Okay, so it's there's still this." It goes back to the normal status quo as before. After that, you're like, wait, what? Yeah, it's weird.
There was a moment, and again, this isn't like spoilery particularly. It's just made me laugh, where the guy sat there, and she just like hugs him naked from behind, and just goes, "You still remind me of that little boy you were all those years ago."
Oh my god, that's weird.
I was like, what? I'd be like, excuse me, if that was me. It was a very weird thing to say, and I just, there's been a couple of moments like that where I've just been there going, that's not what they meant, surely. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I definitely screenshot it. There was a point where Torgal, the dog, was unwell, and he was like, "Oh, that beast's appetite." I woke up this morning, and it was like his mouth was full of me nuts. And I was like, "What?" I was like, please. I know that's really childish,
I think
but
translation sometimes.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I was just like, because it's very serious, and like no character says anything or does anything. It's just like I woke up with these. I took a little picture, sent it to a mate, and was like, "This game has done this to me 3 times now." Where they've just said something. I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but they've just said something, and you're like, "Jeez." But yeah, no, I've been playing it so much. I'm pretty sure I'll get it done. Like I sort
you
of.
Might do. You might.
Mr. Sheepdog goes to bed at 10, and I play it through till about 1:30, pretty much every day at the moment, and then in my lunch break as well.
If you got to Odin,
yeah, it's been really
you're
cool.
Not a million miles away from finishing.
I feel like I've been getting my mileage on it, and that's really good because 15, I really didn't think I got my mileage from. I was chatting to someone the other day where I said to them that 13 was the one that made me think these games were kind of dead for me because I felt like it was really short. And they said, 13's like the longest of all of the stories. And I thought, nah, they're talking nonsense. And I Googled it, and it is. It's like out of all of the games, that takes something like 45 hours to complete the story on. I'm guessing it doesn't have as much add-ons, which is probably where it comes short.
If you don't include 14...
Oh, yeah, no, sure, of course. Yeah, 14 and 11.
14's got about 6 add-ons on it, or something like that right now.
But just going by pure story, like 7 and 8 are like 35-hour games, and then 13 was like 48 or something like that. And so that surprised me, although I think I just, as you know, I do a lot of the side quests, so for me it isn't a 50-hour game or whatever. I do the max of it. But yeah, it's been really cool. So then the other thing that I've done this week is obviously the second part of the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth DLC came out. So I played that today. I didn't have internet for half the week, and it was really painful for me.
Wait.
Have you not seen that?
Rebirth DLC?
Not DLC, demo. Sorry, mate.
Okay, I was suddenly Ronan.
That came out wrong. Demo. And it began with a D.
Yeah, I know you had played it previously.
Yeah, so they brought out. So last time it was like the start of the game. They brought out us a demo. It was going around the Sephiroth story from Nibelheim. This one was kind of early game when they visit Junon in the original Final Fantasy VII. They go to this like big canon city thing. It was quite cool because outside that you got to like ride on a chocobo. They showed some of the new features, so you can like do armor for your chocobo, find stuff like treasure on the floor and stuff. You saw Chadley while you were there. They kind of hinted at how they're introducing Yuffie into the story. You had to fight a boss. the boss was bloody hard work. I feel like the demo doesn't really prepare you for the level you should have been at to do the boss, in my opinion. Like, it took me 3 attempts, and I'm not great at games, but I'm not that bad that it should take me 3 attempts, but it wiped me out. On one of the attempts, I did try just throwing money at it. There's a move where you can just throw cash, and I think I missed because I just threw 10 grand, and it just didn't do any damage at all. And they threw every penny they had because I thought, it's a demo, who cares? And yeah, it was not helpful. But yeah, after like 3 attempts, I killed it, and then that was the end of the demo. So I didn't realise that either. I thought, I'll get this boss done and I'll crack on with a demo. And then when I did it, it was like, thanks for playing, here's an advert. But the ad looked really good. It had like different coloured chocobos in it. There were different colours to the ones that were in the original. So there's like ones that do different things, which I thought was quite cool. They sort of hinted at a lot of different places that they're going to in this game. I did read online, it might even have new... Well, I read it online, but it's like not a confirmed thing. That someone said it had new places in it, which would be interesting to see if it does, what they do with that. I suppose they'll just expand certain bits if there's gaps, but I'm excited now. This is out in 6 days or 5 days for the listeners, 29th of Feb. So yeah, I've got that long to complete 16 basically. I was hoping to squeeze Crisis Core in so that I could like learn Zach's backstory, because he's supposed to be more heavily in this one, isn't he? So I was going to try and play more his game and see how that went, but I don't think I'm going to have time for that. That's like a 15-hour game. The only other thing I want to talk about is not really... so Saturday and Sunday this week, so the 24th, 25th, there's like a Gen 4 Pokemon Go event on. So Kev will probably, if he's still, I don't know if you're still into it and hooked, Kev, but that's another chance for you to...
I haven't opened the app for several months. Pretty much the day FM24 dropped, I didn't open Pokemon again. I'm probably ready to start playing it again now we've started travelling a bit more. And I started leaving my office. So
the reason why it's worth doing this weekend is because it's got the Dialga and Palkia from Gen 4. If you played Legends Arceus... They had new forms in that where they had like different legs and stuff, but they have the removes Roar of Time, and I've got confused now. I thought it was called Spacious Rend, but Ollie kept telling me I was saying it wrong. Whatever it is, anyway, they're important to have, because if you have Roar of Time and you use it in the game, you can then pause anything that's got a timer in game, so any incense, any lures, whatever. If you're using one and then you use Roar of Time, it'll stop the clock for the amount of time that you've told it to do it for, and then that gives you more time on your resources. And then the spatial one expands how far your reach is, so you'll see Pokemon further away, you can use things further away. So they're only going to be available this weekend, and then they're not going to be in it until the next time they bother with it, so that could be months, So yeah, it's worth doing because it's new and it'll be cool. But they're also it's that annual thing they do where it's like, if you take part in this ticket, you'll get a shiny of a mythical that we never. So they're Mew, Celebi, Jirachi. This one's Shaman. For a $5 you get a ticket, and it's like catch 492 Pokemon from each of the 4 gens before. Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then there'll be like another page of tasks, and it's like a master quest thing. So it'll take months to do it. It'll be quite hard to do. It's one of those things that I really enjoy getting at this time of year, because it'll probably be March before I finish it, like late March. I mean, yeah, it's just something that really makes the game good, and it's this weekend. So if you're listening, it will have kicked off about 10ish, and it's on till Sunday night, and that's me for the week.
Fine, I'll have a little look at it. Fine. So if I end up spending £100 again, I won't be very happy.
I think the only amount you can really spend is probably like 20, maybe.
Fine, I'll do that now.
Kevin.
What about you two, Anna and Pat? What you've been playing?
What have I been playing? Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Yes.
28% the way through. I've played it for 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to Hawaii.
Okay, you ain't messing about.
Well, no, because I was like, well, I like these games. I know how these games work. Let's go. And I've just been following the story, and I'm in Hawaii for reasons. I've still not unlocked. So no, like in your pause screen, there's like gear and items. There's still a thing that's grayed out that I can't do yet. So there's still things I've not unlocked. And I am just literally like doing sorry, I do a few side quests here and there because they're funny and just wacky. Like one of them was you go to a shopping centre and it becomes like you have to go around completing puzzles as enemies come at you from different places for reasons of a TV show. And I'm like, why is this happening? And like another activity that you can do as, because like that's like a short sub story, but then there's like just things you can do. So one of them, which one shall I do? One of them is you go into the sea in Hawaii and you pick up trash, and then you go to this woman and she gives you items. And there's items you can't buy anywhere else. But then there's another one that I'm not gonna spoil because it is so weird and so just Japanese that it's just so strange that I'm like, this can't happen in this. These things can't be like happening in Hawaii because that's not Hawaii. It's the weirdest. It's just I'll tell you this. Go on the trams. Just go on the trams near the beach, and you will meet a man. And all I'm gonna say, it is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life.
It sounds like a weekend in Blackpool.
It's so weird, but I don't know where the infinite wealth is because I am broke. I am so broke. I have a couple of maybe a couple of £1,000. Like there's weapons in here that are like 999999, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have that amount of money. Like it's like the top weapon or a top piece of clothing. I want them, but I don't have the wealth for them. So like I said, I am literally 28% through the game, and I have played 24 hours of said game. And bonkers. It's just like because you do start in because there's like two of like a dragon game, so you do start where you were in the last game. I don't know if it's full scale because you're not there for. I didn't know I was leaving until because like with this game you go into like a cutscene and you can't stop these cutscenes. You are just they're talking to you about it. You're on a plane. You're in Hawaii, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't know this was happening." So I don't know if is it Japan that you're in. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't know if it's fully mapped from the first game. But when I was there, I was like, "This all feels like I know this area. I've done this," and I was like, "It's very weird here how they've put you in the same place." I'm like, I want to go. I want to explore elsewhere, but no, I'm not in Japan anymore. I am in Hawaii in the US, just doing US stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of game in this. There's a lot because like every time you think, oh, this is coming to an end. Oh no, I'm gonna put in another twist, or you go elsewhere and you just
go somewhere.
Yeah.
and there's another mini game. There's a whole nother mini game. And you're like, huh? And now I'm playing Crazy Taxi delivering food.
Yes.
Or
oh God, yes. Oh yeah. God, yeah.
That's the way to get some money if you want some money.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play like an Uber driver, but you have to do it on a bike, and then you have to do tricks as you like drop off your food. It is so bonkers, but it's a fun game. It will definitely mop up some hours for people. Like, yeah, it's a big game. And then I also played that Mario and Donkey Kong game, and I got to 6 levels and I turned it off. I found it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I found it so boring. It's literally press this button and go and press. Like, it's just little mini puzzles about buttons and going up and down. And I just played Six Levels and I was like, no, thank you. And I turned it off. Basically, Donkey Kong has stolen all the mini toys and eggs kind of thing, and you need to go and rescue them. And I'm just like, boring. So because Kev like, this game has to stay in this game. You can't leave it. Yeah, I'm like, Kev, you can play this game as and when you want, because it's not for me, not at all.
Just to translate, I was asking her not to just hide the game from me and put it back in a different box.
In the DS. Is such a liar. Not the DS, the Switch. Sorry. So yeah, that's me. I keep looking at Pacific Drive, and I don't know if I want it or not. It looks fun. Like, it's all like spooky, like the robots have taken over. But I don't know if I want to play it or if I want to watch someone play it. So I'm just in a looking mood because it came out like yesterday. So I'm just looking at it from afar, going, do I want this? But
yeah, me too.
Oh, you're the
me
same.
Too. I'm like, I do kind of want this, but I also don't know how much I kind of want this.
Yeah.
Because it's very much a survival game, and I've only got so much tolerance for survival games. It might not seem like that, but you need to go scavenging for parts and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know if it's what I want to be doing. It does seem interesting. It does seem interesting, though. It looks very nice.
Yeah, apparently you get attached to your car a lot. And I'm like, that sounds like fun. I like having a car to upgrade. But I've watched someone like 20 minutes playing, thinking, I like scavenging. But then I saw like this terrifying thing, and I was like, I don't want to go near that. That looks terrifying. But I'll keep an eye on it and see where it goes. Like, if it comes out on like Game Pass or something in a couple of months, then maybe. But just
I feel like that might be a good one.
It's only like £24, I think I saw it at, and I was like,
it's not a full price game.
It's a watcher at the moment. But I got what's it coming next week? Some a Final Fantasy game that coming. I want to play it, but I'm just not that fussed about it anymore. I think 16's like broken me a little bit. I hope that gameplay is different.
They are very different
from that gameplay, because
no, it's nothing like it. It was very confusing for me that's why I think I failed the boss the first 2 times, was because I was trying to dodge, and it just wasn't what I was used to. It was really hard trying to adapt, but no, they're not the same at all. It's identical to the first half, the one we just had.
That's cool. So yeah, that's coming next week. But that is me, short and sweet this week. For me.
Okie dokie. What have I played this week? Well, like Anna, I have played I'm probably near. I think I'm 28 hours into Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth now. Like I say, it's taken me time to get there, but the majority of my, scrap that. All of my time this week has been on Dondoku Island. I don't know if you've got to Dondoku Island yet, Anna.
I have not. No, that's the bit that's grayed out.
Chapter 6, I think.
Oh, I've just started 6.
Yeah, so you're about. It's about that time.
Okay.
And I've spent 2 in-game weeks on Dondoku Island now at this point. What the pressing issues that are meant to be happening in Hawaii, I just have gone out of my mind now. I don't know what's happening anymore. I now run a little island, and I'm trying to clear up rubbish and bring in tourists onto this once great family resort, and it's all gone to ruin because pirates had fly tipping, basically.
Pirates?
Yeah, pirates. And every day you get given a little house when you get there. You're like, okay, great, and it's not great. It's a little house, and then you have a little like a DIY bench outside, and you can craft items and stuff like that by hitting trees and hitting rocks and clearing the rubbish away, and then you get plastics and machine parts and stuff like that, and then you can craft things, and you can put that stuff in your house. You can then, like I say, craft all these different things for your house, and then that'll then improve your life bar. The better your house looks, the better quality of life you have. So you have then more hearts, which means you can fight more people, because it's not a turn-based fight in there now. It's more like, well, it's an Animal Crossing kind of sort of thing. So it's kind of like an Animal Crossing game where you just swing your bat at people, and then they just die eventually. So sometimes they'll turn up and there's like a dozen people there. You've kind of got to deal with them. So you need the hearts to be able to like withstand a few hits. But once you do that, you can then craft things for the island. You clear certain areas of this island out, and then at a certain point, you can then afford to clear it out permanently, which then allows you to then put things in that empty space then, such as public bathrooms, ATMs, a phone, all sorts of everything, arcade machines, vending machines.
What, for people
signs.
To come and visit?
Sorry?
Do people come and visit then?
Well, this is the thing. So you're building up your island, and you build up your island up to a certain point, like an inspector turns up, and then he goes, "Okay, you're a 1-star place now."
Okay.
And then a 1-star place means you can then start inviting guests. And the options you have until you get a 2-star place is pretty much a tent. So then you can buy a tent, and you can then invite people. But people come to the island, and they have kind of like requests or things that they want from being at the island to keep them happy. So they want a certain level of like comfort there, and they want a certain things to be on the island for them, and the certain categories. Like, I think there's one that's like, there's multiple categories. Each item you put down has like a different category of like what it is. And sometimes it's like pop, sometimes it's sleazy, sometimes it's rustic, and certain people want certain things from the island, and then you can give them gifts and stuff like that. I did this for the first week, and then I was then able to put a building in. Like I say, I had the only thing I had realistically was some statues, some vending machines, some arcade machines, and some signage. And the people go around. You just go about your daily business. You're not really tending to these people. They're just wandering about the island, looking at all the different things that are on the island, the tat that you've built for them to look at. And every now and again, it'll come up in the top corner going, this person likes this sign, this person likes this vending machine. And it's like their like number ticks up a bit, and then their happiness goes up. Meanwhile, you're just over somewhere else trying to clear another part of the island, beating up some ruffians, or fishing, like I say, catching bugs. And like I say, there's as much to this game, to this Dondoko Island side mini game, than there is to Animal Crossing. There's more in it. It's more in depth than Animal Crossing, like considerably. I mean, like I say, at a certain point, because then you sell your fish, you sell your bugs, you sell other little bits and pieces that you find to make the money. Then you can afford to buy bigger things. So when I've bought buildings now, I've got a karaoke building, I've got a restaurant, I've got a dilapidated DVD shop, I think. I've got several buildings, and you've got to slot these around, and you can put pathways around so that people can see them and get to them and what have you. And then at a certain point, I then went to another island. There's a farm island. And now I'm planting stuff for food, because then I can then make food. Because then at a certain point, you want to make souvenirs for people, and items to give people. So then you make food, but you need to like crops and stuff like that for that. So now I've got a farm going, and now I have like people. So you know the Sujimon bit of the game where you have like their Pokemon version, and you have
Yes.
So on the farming island, you can put them to work on the farm, or you can put them. This is like a Sujimon island where you just put all your Sujimon to work.
Wow.
And it's insane. Like I said, I spent like 2 in-game weeks on there now. I've got a shack now and a tent. I'm not quite confident enough to put people in the shack right now because the people that want to go in the shack want a lot more stuff from me. Like, I have a higher expectation of the island, and I don't know if I can keep that up right now. I need to work a bit more. I've just built a bridge. First bridge I have built, which unlocks a new section of the island altogether, which then needs clearing every day. Yeah, it's bonkers. I kind
of.
It's insane because at a certain point I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Why don't I just go back and do the game? But I found out what you get for completing Dundoku Island, and now I'm like, I can't not do this now.
Okay.
I need this item now. So now I'm like, well, I'm kind of locked into this now, and now I've got to work towards getting I think I'm 2-star rated now. But it's a long trek to get to the next star rating. I think you need to get 5 stars and all this stuff. But like I say, it involves so much stuff because you need to work at it. And like I say, I've not put tons of time in it this week because I've been doing other things. But it's it's just another thing in this game that's keeping me hooked on it. And
it's a ridiculous game.
There's so many things in it. It's insane. The other things I have played, I've caved and I have Helldivers 2. I've done the tutorial. And I've done one mission. One mission I didn't know what was going on because I don't know how I ended up where I was. But I was in the middle of somebody else's mission. I just ended up joining someone else's game randomly. And I literally landed down. And as I landed down, they both died. And I was like, oh God. So now, and then I was just clearing out these robots, these like Terminator-looking robots. Lasers flying everywhere in this world. and I'm like, then nothing's happening because they're dead. They're spectating me. And I was like, oh yeah, I've got to redeploy them. So now I'm scrambling around, getting chased by robots, trying to redeploy them. I managed to do it. And managed to do the quest that was happening. I don't know any of the quests. Like I say, I came in mid-quest. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm just kind of shooting everything that's running at me. I jumped into the middle of a war zone and just shot everything that's coming at me. And then the quest was complete. And then we had to evacuate, and then you had to sit on a landing pad for 2 minutes waiting for everything to come and get me. And then I got on the ship, and then I'm back on my big ship. And that was it. I was like, okay, I know what this is. I definitely need people to play this with because this is not a game that I'm going to play alone. And it feels like that. It doesn't feel like you're going to have amazing time with just playing this alone. But I know a lot of my friends will catch up with me at some point and will end up getting it. Like I say, I just caved because I've heard so much about it this past week. There's so many videos, people that I watch are playing it, and I was like, and it just looks amazing. It sees some of the videos for it. It's like it's unreal. It just looks so good.
It's good. It looks good.
Yeah. So I'll play some more of that. Probably over the weekend. See how we get on. Like I say, see if I can get a new cape or whatever it is you get, all that sort of thing. The other thing I've played, I've not played a ton of it either. There's a game called Balatro. Balatro.
I've seen bits of it. Yeah.
Yes, it's a card game. It's a card game. Roguelike.
Leaning forward.
Roguelike.
Oh, you ruined it.
Poker game.
I'm leaning again.
Where you start a game off and you have a blind of however much money you have to work up this many chips to complete this level. And then you work up the chip level, and then you can purchase cards or purchase jokers. And jokers are in the game because they are like variables that can help you. Such as certain ones like times the multiplier of a certain thing, like a pair. It has like a 4 times multiplier on the amount of chips you're going to get, but then you can have a joker that will then give you, like, say it's aces, you will get a triple times on what an ace is worth, and then a 4 times multiplier on top of that. So then that increases how much you get to get to the blind, and then move on to the next level. And then you do this so many times, and then you get, like I say, you can unlock jokers, you can unlock tarot cards, which are like one-time use cards, which can affect, I want to say, single cards only. I feel like they're like expendable cards that you burn pretty much immediately. You select a card and it has an ability based on what it is. There's also cards that affect like the multiplier. So you can get they're like planet cards, and each planet has a different ability. So say, I think Venus has like a multiplier, or it levels up the pairs. So you then level up, so you get more money for a pair, and your multiplier goes up for a pair. And every time you go through a level, you can play a hand, or you get you get 5 hands to play, and you've got to meet this blind. And then at the same time, you get 5 chances to remove cards and discard them. And once you do your complete one blind, you move on to the next blind, and then you move on to the next one again. And usually the third one is a boss battle, and the boss has a variable on it, such as, I think I played about 90 minutes of this, but I've got into it quite a bit. I've seen a boss which has the face cards. The face cards are debuffed, so they don't give you any chips, and no abilities work on the face cards. I've had one where after the first hand is dealt, all your cards are face down, so you don't know. Pretty much, you just I dealt my first hand out, and then every card that came in after that is just face down, so I don't know what I'm playing with anymore. I've had ones that just completely debuff certain cards. I've had ones that will just remove the money, because you get money if you finish a complete ante. Then I'm saying stuff like, I don't know what any of this means. I've heard of these terms.
I've already bought it, Pabby. You've told me enough.
I've seen people talking about this, and it's insane the amount of stuff people have been saying about how good it is and whatever. How
it's Steam Deck verified as well. Yes, very important.
That's the only where I've been playing it. That's the only place I've been playing it. And it's just strangely addictive to play. And I before we started recording, I finished a game. I got beat by a boss because the blind was like 80,000 chips, and I got to 55,000 chips, because of all the multiplayers. Because you can have up to like 4 jokers at a time, and each joker like can stack on top of each other. And you can arrange the jokers so they work in a certain order as well. So if certain jokers work better in certain orders, it's such a cool game, such a cool little game. I get a little bit Inscription vibes from it. I don't suspect like Inscription. You're going to get anything like Inscription from it. There's not going to be a change to what's going on, or they're going to change the status quo. But it seems a bit quirky like that. Yeah, it just seems like a really cool game that I could put on for 20 minutes, half an hour, have a run of it, and just see where it goes and see how the build goes up. And then each time you say, so it's a roguelite, so once you get beat, you unlock things for doing so. So I've unlocked 2 new decks, I think, since then, and I've unlocked about 4 or 5 new jokers that have the possibility of getting in the next time I play it. So yeah, it seems cool. It's very well reviewed right now. Seems pretty good for what it is, and like I say, I think it cost just over a tenner. I think, was it, Kev? Something like that.
£11, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
See. So, it's like a good little game, especially for a Steam Deck. I think it might be on Switch as well. I don't know. I think it is. I looked for it if it's on mobile. I didn't see it, but it seems like a cool game that could be on mobile. But who knows? But yeah, other than that, like I say, I've played a little bit of Fortnite, like as usual. Played a little bit more Pal World. Pal World is Pal World at this point.
Ollie started playing that.
Oh, really?
So he was like, have you heard of it? And I was like, mate, I've been waiting for you to tell me you'd heard of it. I just wanted to see how long it would take to appear on your radar. And he said it sort of swept their school a little bit.
Yeah.
Like only recently, like this past week. But he's really enjoying it.
I think they're at 25 million players now or something like that in a month.
I said to him, I was like, oh yeah, no, I was going to tell you about it when it first came out because it's meant to be like Pokemon. And he was like, I don't know why people keep saying this. It's nothing like it. And he was really like surprised that was the comparison, if that makes sense. But he's been enjoying it.
I mean, there's little monsters that you throw balls at. It's kind of what it is. It's why the obvious comparison. But I mean, the gameplay isn't the same at all. But that's
he was very. He wasn't like scorning me, but he was very much like, "What are you talking about, old man?" Like, no. I was like, "All right, mate, you do you. Go play it. Enjoy."
Yeah, I've played more of them. We're pushing, trying to get the levels up now because, like I say, I'm level 33. I want to say now, pushing 34, and the grind is real. The grind is real now. We've wandered deep into the desert now, just to look for new things to get and find and unlock. I caught some level 40 thing that I wasn't supposed to, but my friend was trying to catch it, and then it kind of just started running at me, so I just threw a ball at it, and I ended up catching it, and I was like, well, that's what you get. Other than that, yep, that's pretty much me done. Yep, that's everything.
Well, in that case, we'll wrap things up there, boys and girls. If you would like to hassle us all over the internet, you can do that at Mgukpodcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
You can find me at RB6K.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
And out Pab1986.
And we will see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Toodle pip.
Thanks for listening, folks.
You're welcome, Pabby.